Hello, welcome back to the channel. So you're thinking about moving to Thailand. Well, I'd had the same feeling 3 years ago, and we've been here now for 3 years and love every minute of it. But let's go through some of the steps you could start working on in order to move over here very easily. Step one, and this may seem ridiculous, but make sure you have visited Thailand before. I've talked to many people who have never been to Thailand before, and they plan on moving here. And a lot of times they're very successful. However, there are some people who move over here and immediately know it was a mistake. Maybe they didn't like the culture, maybe they didn't like the weather, maybe they didn't like the traffic. Who knows what the problem was, but they've never been here, and that's a big issue. So I would say if you're really serious about moving here, come over here and try to at least spend 2 weeks here. And just keep in mind when you do visit that you are visiting as a tourist and it's going to be a lot of fun and everything. But once you live here for a while, you know, the mundane tasks of daily living are going to apply here as well. It's not like living on a perpetual vacation. So I would say you really need to figure out your finances. How are you going to make a living over here? If you think you're going to come over here and get a job, well, I'm going to say think again, because a lot of the jobs are only for Thais. There's only a few jobs reserved for foreigners. And I don't know what your qualifications are, but make sure you research that before you get over here. So, point being, figure out how you're going to make a living while you're over here. If you're retired, it's going to work out real well for you. You can use your pension and spend it here in Thailand. Maybe you're a digital nomad, somebody who makes a living online, a remote worker. Great, you should do really well, but just make sure you can figure out how you're going to support yourself before you come over here. And again, if you are planning on trying to make money here in Thailand, I would say you really need to research how easy or difficult that will be for a foreigner here in Thailand. Next thing is you're going to want to figure out what visa do you qualify for, especially if you're under the age of 50. And the reason I say that, if you're 50 or older, you can qualify for a retirement visa. Yes, there's other qualifications for that visa. You can research that on your own. However, talking to most of you under the age of 50, where it gets a little bit more difficult. There are some visas that you could pay for. They're very expensive. But if you have the money, you can stay in Thailand for a long time. However, there are other visas that you could stay here for a year, two, maybe three, and then you can't renew them anymore, such as the ED visa, which is like an education visa. My point being here is figure out what visa Thailand has that you qualify for and see how long you can renew that visa for. Because I've lost a lot of friends due to the fact that they could not get another visa and they had to go back to their home country. This is a very difficult country to stay in for long term if you are under the age of 50. Next thing I would say is make a time frame. In other words, draw a line in the sand. This is when I'm going to move to Thailand. That way you can back up and figure out, what do I need to do between now and my deadline to get ready, which we will go over with in this video. First tip I would give you that my wife and I did not do, so take it for us for making the mistake. Start getting rid of your things a little at a time instead of doing what we did. I'll tell you what not to do. So we were ready to go immediately when we made the decision to come over here. So we got all our belongings and we sold it all in a garage sale. We sold our stuff for a lot less than what we should have. Had we done it the right way, we would have started selling things a little bit at a time at the right prices that the things should have gone for, and pocketed that money instead of, you know, selling our cars immediately on some online service and doing, like I said, the garage sale and basically giving away everything. It would make more sense, dollars and cents, if you would get rid of more of your expensive items a little at a time leading up to the day you leave. Another thing that would be very smart for you to do is to research areas of Thailand to figure out exactly where you want to live. And you may not know. You may get all the way to Thailand and still not know exactly where you want to live in Thailand, and that's fine. Just don't sign any long-term lease agreements. You may want to stay a month long at an Airbnb, maybe in Koh Samui in the islands, and then maybe another month in Phuket, and then maybe Pattaya or Chiang Mai or Bangkok, something like that. So you can go to each area, stay for about a month, and figure out what area works best for you. But you can right away know, do you want to live down near the water? Do you want to live in a big city? Or do you want to live in the mountains? So if you can figure that out, you can figure out where the best place for you to start looking for first would be. Once you figure that out, I would say start looking at the available housing. I'll put a link down below for a website that we used that works really well for looking at the housing costs of different parts of Thailand. For instance, if you want to move to Bangkok and you're saying, I just want to stay in a condo, something easy, it's just myself, then you can put in condo and you can put in a price range that you're looking for and see if that's feasible for Bangkok. I would also say start watching a lot of YouTube videos, preferably ours, but other YouTube videos as well, finding out what the pros and cons would be about moving to Thailand. And you want to look at the negative as well as the positive reviews. And you want to look at videos specifically for the area that you're looking at primarily, because we've got different issues here in Chiang Mai where I'm at versus Bangkok versus living at an island. So it would be good to get a perspective from an expat who lives in the area that you're looking to move to. Another thing you're going to want to iron out is, where is all your mail going to go to once you leave? So what my wife and I did is we use a service in the US called iPosta1, and they receive all of our mail, they scan it in, they send us an email and say, you've got this letter, and we tell them whether we want them to open it up and then scan in so we can see every page, or we want them to throw that away. You can also use a relative. It would work well for you, I'm sure, but you just want to figure out what your game plan is for any residual mail you will receive from your home country. Another thing is your phone. You're still going to get calls to your old phone number. Maybe you kept your banking open, which I would definitely suggest, in your home country, and you need to do two-factor authentication. So a lot of times they will send that authentication to your phone, but they won't send it to a foreign number. So what my wife and I did, and this isn't going to work for everybody because I think it only works in the US, maybe some other countries, and that's using Google Voice. I'm going to tell you to Google that and find out how to do this, but it's through Google Voice and it's called porting. So basically what we did is we kept our own number, old number, we ported it to Google Voice. Now we have our new Thai phone with our new Thai phone number. However, if anybody calls or texts our old number, it gets routed to Google Voice. It sends it to the app on the phone, and we can see who texted us and even text them back, and we can see who left us a message on our phone and figure out how to give them a call back. So it is very beneficial, and it was a $20 one-time fee to port, and that's it. Last but not least, make sure you discuss your plans with loved ones that you think are basically going to have a cow if you go move overseas. Make sure you get everything right with anyone that's going to give you an issue if you don't before you come over here. Maybe even schedule with these people, say, once a month we'll do a video chat, whatever. It may also help you emotionally once you get over here, because there is going to be a time frame where you feel alone. Maybe you made a mistake. This isn't the right thing to do. But before you get into that state of mind, or even if you are getting in that state of mind, make sure to give Thailand at least 6 months, because it's going to take you that long before things seem extremely normal. So just keep that in mind. Everything in your life is going to be different once you move to the other side of the country, and everything's different than what you're used to. Completely normal. You may feel isolated, whatever. Get out, start meeting people, start making yourself a life here. It's really awesome, but if you don't try, you're going to fail. But if you try and try really hard, I think you will very much enjoy your time living here in Thailand. If you do want to meet with me to ask me any questions, I do offer one-on-one video chat, and that's down in the link below under Buy Me a Coffee. If you like the video, it was helpful whatsoever, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. We've got a lot of videos just like this one. And if you feel so inclined, buy us a coffee. We'd really appreciate it. Link, and of course the Buy Me a Coffee link down below. So until next time, I'm going to end this video by saying thank you in Thai, which is Kap Kun Kap.